Welcome to Code Jogging. In this video, we are going to look at how to add a registration page to our project. In our previous video, we looked at how to add a login page, and this is what we did. So, in case today is your first time watching our video, please kindly subscribe and also turn on the notification button so that anytime we upload a new video, you get a notification and then you never missed any video. And also, you can use our Telegram link at the description section and then join our Telegram channel so that we will do the same thing. Anytime we upload a video, we will notify you and then we can be on the same page. So now in this video we are going to look at how we are going to add registration, and I think we are not going to do a lot of coding here because all the basic components that you might need to design our registration page, we've done it in a login page. For you to work faster as a full stack developer or as a good programmer, we can duplicate our login page and then remove some of the data that we don't need, and we can also change or modify some of the data in our login page. Okay, so these are the two things we are going to look at. Either we are going to create a login registration page and then design everything from scratch, which will delay you, and also either you are going to duplicate the login page and then modify the codes in it in order to suit how you want your registration page to look like. So in this registration page, we are going to look at where the user can provide us these basic details: the first name, middle name, last name, and then let's say password. So the password, the user needs to confirm both the password and the confirm password section. Okay, and then we add a button to it. That's the submit button. These are the details we are going to provide, and as time goes on, we will add the selection, that the gender selection, and then maybe you can also let the user add their date of birth. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get started. So what we are going to do today is to um, duplicate our login page and then rename the duplicated file to register.html. Then we can continue. So what we are going to do is, let's go to the page, and then now this is our login page. Let me right click, copy, and then paste here. Okay, so let's right click and then rename it to register. Okay, so now let's go to our browser. Then let's change the link name here to register.html. Okay, we have the same login page here because we just duplicated the login page, but we've not modified the source code in it. So now let's modify it. So instead of user account portal, let's change it to create new account. So let's refresh the code. Okay, so now we are having username. We are going to change this to enter first name, then we copy, then we paste, then middle name. Okay, then we copy, then we paste, then we add last name. Okay, that's good. So now we have first name, middle name, and then last name. And the password, we want the user to enter twice. So enter confirm password, or okay, enter confirm password. Then we have enter password here. So let's refresh the page. Yes, now we don't need the remember me and then forgot password. So let's remove these two. We don't need them. Okay, so what we can do now is to add a space. Okay, let's add a space. So let's wrap this one with a parent div. Okay, and then we give it width. Then let's move these codes into this div. Then let's set it to column so that it will arrange vertically. Okay, so now what we are going to do is let's give it margin top. Okay, so let's make it padding top. Okay, so now the next step we are going to do is we are going to give it space 4. Okay, so let's change the create account to already have an account. Okay, so let's change to create account already have an account, the login. So let's change here to the index.html. Okay, and then let's change this one to create. Okay, so now we've modified our registration.html source code. So what we are going to do next is we are going to use HTML validation. Okay, so we have, if the user click on this one, we want to provide a required here. So let's change the post to, let's change the form method to post. Okay, so let's refresh it again. Okay, now it's not showing any extra details here. Okay, so when you click on it, you have to make sure that the user have provided first name, last name, password, and a confirm password before we can submit. So what we are going to do now is we are going to add the HTML required tag to the fields that we want the user to provide the data before we can submit. Okay, and then here let's add required, and then here let's add required. Okay, so now let's refresh our page. So let's click inside here. Okay, so the first name, let's check. Okay, let's move it to the top. Yeah, let's check. Okay, this one's supposed to be there. Let's move this one to the top. Okay, yes, so this one will tell the user to provide a data. So let's type inside it. Then it will tell us to provide a last name, next password, and then another one before you can submit. Okay, so this is the basic validation we can do. And as I said earlier, we are not going to add a JavaScript to our project now. We are focusing on how to style it. Okay, how to design our web pages using Tailwind. So now we are done with registration and the login. So let's click on the login. Then we have to see the login page. And when we click on registration, yes, now we can move back and forth. Okay, so this is how you can create a registration form in your project. And the first one I said was we can create everything from scratch, going through the stress we went through when we were designing the login page. Yeah, you can do that. That one, as far as you are not on the you are not on the project timeline, you can take your time and then do it. But if you're on a project timeline, please, you have to think smarter. So the easy way out is to duplicate the login page or the login file, rename it to the registration, they will start modifying the source code, then you are done. So now the next step you are going to work on is the logout, that's sorry, forgot password page. Okay, so the forgot password page, we are going to allow the user to enter only their email address. So here we weren't capturing the email address, so let's add it to the form here. So let's add our email address to it. So enter email address. Okay, so let's make this one email address, and then let's change this one to, let's change the name to last name. Let's change this one to middle name. Okay, and then let's change this one to first name. Okay, so let's change this one to first name. So now what we are going to do is we are going to use the HTML validation here. So we are going to change this one to email. Okay, so let's refresh our page again. Okay, so now we have enter your email address here. So let's type anything. Let's type, and then anything here. It says that we should add a valid email address. An email address must have a name. After that, it should have the @ sign plus the domain. So let's say gmail.com. There we can submit. Okay, and one thing I want us to look at it is the input field. We've realized that when the user click inside it, it changes to a different color. The text color changes to a different color. This one, it will be very difficult for the user to read what the label has changed to. So let's click outside before the user can see. Okay, we can leave it this way, or we can change it to white. Down it, you will decide. Okay, but for the sake of this tutorial, we are going to leave it this way. But if you are doing it for a production wise, then you have to be careful with the colors that you use. Okay, so now what we are going to do here is we are now going to duplicate this page and then also work on the forgot password page too. So let's come to here and then copy and then paste. Then let's rename it to forgot password. So let's make it forget password page here. Okay, so let's switch to forget password. Oh, let's change it to forgot password, sorry. So okay, and now let's change here to, oh, okay, so now let's change here to reset your password. Then we don't need the password here, so we make it enter email address. Then we change the name to email address, then the type to email. So we don't need these two. Okay, then we create a parent div, add these two to it. Let's go to registration and then copy the class. So we need this class, let's copy it. Let's come here, then we are good to go. So it's a required default, yeah, it's a required. So then we don't need, let's remove this one. Let's make this one reset. Okay, so padding top, we don't need it, so let's make it 2 or 1. Okay, so okay, so let's make this one 5. Okay, and then let's make this one 5. Okay, so now this is our forgot password page. So the user can provide email, okay, before it can be submitted. Other than that, so let's add the required field to it. Okay, so this field is required. The type is email. Yes. So you can provide and then continue, or like this. Then we are good to go. Now let's go to our login page. So let's go to our index page. Okay, so let's go to our index page and then let's check. Yes, now we've linked it to our forgot password. So now we can navigate to create an account and then go back to our login page, and we can do the same thing for, so let's do the same thing for the forgot password, so that when the user is on the forgot password page, the user can navigate back to the login page. Okay, so now let's refresh it. So registration page, you can log in and then we can come here too, and then let's add a color to it. So just color to white. Okay, so let's go back. Yes, so now we are done with our our authentication page. That's for the login, registration, and forgot password page. Okay, so in our next video we'll be looking at how we can add a dashboard. Okay, so the next step is to add a dashboard to our project. Okay, so we will look at the first side of the dashboard, that's the skeletal view of the dashboard. That's a dashboard needs to have a header, a sidebar, and then a container that will display the other content. Okay, so we will design one dashboard and then we add a profile page to it. So once we are done, then we move on to adding a JavaScript framework, that's React, to our project. Okay, I will explain. You don't need to worry. I will explain everything for you to understand. I will take my time to explain everything, okay, for you to understand. And I will tell you the reason why we have to use React and then Vite or Vite. Vite means fast, okay, in our project. Thank you for watching this video. Please, in case you found this video interesting, please subscribe to our channel and also turn on the notification so that anytime you upload a video, you get a notification. And also use the Telegram link channel at the description site, and then also click on it. When we upload a new video, we will notify you. You won't miss any video. If you have any suggestions that can help us to make our channel a better place for programmers, please use the channel email to reach out to us and we will try our best to implement your suggestion. Thank you. See you in our next video. Bye bye.